it's a big week for Arsenal.
talkSPORT understands this Monday lunchtime that Saka will be out until February.
It's another set-piece goal. It's a Saka goal. It's an Arsenal goal.
I don't know exactly how much longer. I think it will depend, how that scar tissue starts to heal.
Bukayo Saka, take a bow, fella.
The biggest loss for me with Arsenal is Saka. I think he is the biggest threat that Arsenal have.
Saka! 1-0 Arsenal! Lovely ball in by Jesus. And Saka on the end of it from close range.
All the careful thing is already done. We have respect the time frame. We have done everything, and we had to hold him back even. So he's ready to go.
Yeah, after 16 long days, the Premier League is finally back. Tomorrow, Arsenal taking on a Fulham side they struggled against of late. Did you know that they struggled against Fulham?
Yes.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Because you know why? I know you didn't.
Why?
Because when I said to you, when I said who are Arsenal playing, you said Fulham. He's like, smart like Fulham, yeah. But you struggled against them.
Yeah, but
it'll be a tough game.
It will be a tough game, but at the Emirates, I expect Arsenal to be anyone.
Yeah, especially considering Fulham at the FA Cup game as well.
Yeah, so but it's still going to be difficult. But no, when you've got people like that on the screen, look, Lewis Skelly, how good is he, by the way?
Baller, fantastic. Arsenal are winless in the league against Fulham the past 2 seasons and go into this one needing all 3 points to put the pressure on Liverpool heading into the derby on Wednesday. The international break has been a big one off the field for Arsenal as well. Saka is now available to return following injury, and over the weekend it was announced that Andrea Berta will be their new sporting director, something that Mikel Arteta is delighted about.
He's a person, very honest, very straightforward, very clear vision what he wants to do. He was so willing to join us, which is a very positive thing as well, because he had many other possibilities and he's chosen to come to us. And now it's about us giving him the support and all the understanding of the situation and context straight away, and for him to start to do what he's already done for many, many years at the highest level, which has been very impressive.
You think of sort of what's changed in football in the last sort of 20 years or so on and off the pitch. The one big change off the pitch is that role, the sporting director.
Yeah.
Like before, it was just a manager that did everything, right?
Well, do you know, I first come into contact with a sporting director when it was Damien Comoli.
Okay.
He was a big
He
part
was the big one, wasn't he?
He was the one that brought me to Tottenham, Comoli. So, and he was good to be fair. I remember having a meeting with him when I got permission, obviously.
You can't get sued now. You're okay.
When I got permission.
Long time ago.
At the met in the agent's office, and he went through the plan of what Tottenham were trying to do in the next few years and the players that we're going to bring in and just general overview of everything. So yeah, I think it was maybe not a big thing back then, but it was certainly important. And look at it now; they're equally as important now. I know the manager like Unai Emery's the guy, but I think signings are key. You look how good Brighton have been when it comes to the recruitment and players as well. Bournemouth have been good at that as well.
There's so much more to buying a player than just a couple of stats, isn't there?
Well, I think
they want to know about the player's family, everything.
But I can understand
where they're from, everything.
When you're spending that amount of money, and I've always wondered this: if you're spending that amount of money, unless you are buying someone who is like, that top
guaranteed, Haaland, like,
yeah, right? Yeah. I understand where you might go. Do you know what? Don't worry about the family and that. Like, we've heard a few things, but he's where we need him to get us over the line. But now, when you're spending the amount of money you are for sometimes someone who you're perceived as being a good player or that could go to the next level, you might as well do your homework. Go and find out about their family, their traits, what they're like. Even if you're going out, I've heard rumours, I don't know if it's true,
go on,
of even sporting directors sending people to nightclubs to see what people are like in terms of that, like a social aspect.
You want that though, don't you?
Yeah.
I know it's OTT, but you want that.
Yeah.
You don't want to know that your player's secretly drinking every Saturday.
No, exactly.
You don't want to know that after
not even
matches.
just Saturday, like out midweek. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
did you drink on?
I never. Anyone who knows me knows I didn't drink when I played at all.
Cool. Just asking.
But after as well. Can't stop now.
Big shoes to fill. Eddie did fantastically well. When you think of the transfers that Eddie brought into the club, he pretty much got every single transfer right, apart from a couple, which everyone's going to have.
A couple duds.
He got most of the big ones right.
Yeah, some good ones he done there. When he left, I was like, I was gutted. But I mean, when anyone who's watched that Arsenal documentary on Amazon Prime, it was. And I mean, I'll never forget the conversation when Arteta said about Aubameyang, he's got to go. Yeah. And Edu, and I can't remember who the sporting director was at the time, were almost like, we're not sure about this decision. And Arteta saying, for the good of the football club,
it's got to go.
I'm telling you that he has to go.
And in hindsight,
and it worked.
It kind of worked. Well, you haven't got a number 9, so.
But you need that relationship. I think like that trust. But no, it's going to be interesting. New phase.
All right, coming in. What does Andrea Berta have to do? Like in terms of the wish list, you got 3.
I've got three, but
You've
it's
got
all
three. Give me the wish list.
I've got two definitely, but third, I'm almost scratching around looking for.
All right, what's the one definite?
I mean, the biggest one, which every person on planet Earth knows, they need to buy a striker.
Okay.
They have to buy a striker because Havertz has done well, and I think he's done really well. It's been a good signing for Arsenal, right? And yes, we know he has won big trophy, Champions League, scored in Champions League final, right? But for consistency throughout a Premier League season, you need a centre forward who's gonna chip in with goals, like a lot of goals, 15 to 20 every single season.
Yeah.
But it's not about, and this is my thing, right? It's not about someone who, like Kai Havertz has done well, scored goals. I mean, he's got what this season? 15 in all competitions. He got 14 last season, right? He got 13 in the league last year. He's got 9 in the Premier League this year, right? You need the centre forward that's going to sniff out the chances because Arsenal dominate possession, right? There's going to be teams that just defend really deep, really compact. There's not a lot of space, so you need a centre forward that's going to sniff out a chance where the ball might drop and they've just anticipated that. Do you know what? I think the ball's going to stand. It's got that killer instinct, which Kai Havertz hasn't got. He'd probably admit it himself. But you know, Isak, the ball drops, bang, he's there.
And he creates his own chances.
His own chances.
Well. Yeah.
Even the goal in the cup final, it's not a chance. Jacob Murphy heads it back across and just anticipates where the ball's going to drop and just, that's what Arsenal
Havertz ain't got that.
Arsenal haven't got that. Havertz hasn't got that. So, Eddie Nketiah had it, that instinct, but not to the level that Arsenal need, unfortunately. Yeah. So, for me, centre forward is crucial to what Arsenal do.
On the flip side of that, before you get to the second name, on the flip side, that means players have got to go as well, right? That's his job. So who goes then from that front line? Who do you get rid of?
Gabriel Jesus.
Get rid of him, yeah?
Got
Havertz, does Havertz stay or go?
Havertz stay.
Okay.
I think he'll be the first to go, Gabriel Jesus, because when I think of the left-hand side, you go, right, Trossard, Martinelli.
Stay or go, Trossard?
No, keep Trossard as well off the bench, but he's not a starter. He's plays too many minutes.
Yeah.
So you go Trossard, Martinelli from that left. Centre forward, got Havertz in a minute. Gabriel Jesus, so Gabriel Jesus can go. On that right-hand side now, you've got Saka, of course.
And Wanyeri.
Yeah,
so you've got enough. It is literally
there's enough. It's that centre forward role, I think.
So it's one in, one out.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, fair. All right, go on then, second.
I think you've got to look at the Saka contract situation.
Ooh.
Because everyone knows how special he is to Arsenal, right? And my only, because I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. Or it might be 2 or 3, I think, right? My only thing with that is, if Arsenal aren't winning big trophies, right?
If I'm Saka, I'm holding on.
He is, he's good enough to play for anyone. Anyone now.
And start.
Now, obviously, Liverpool might be the exception because of Salah, which I fully understand. I respect that.
Good replacement for Salah.
Right. Even at Madrid, you look at Real Madrid now, and I get it, Rodrigo. I like Rodrigo. Good player, right? But I think Saka could easily hold his own in that team. I mean, talk about Saka, Vinicius and Mbappe. Wow. Bellingham just behind. Scary.
Don't get Madrid excited and stuff.
Right.
All right. If you were Saka's advisor then, say, all right, put your agent hat on, what do you tell him to do?
I mean, it's pointless me asking me. Let me ask you.
No. What do you tell Saka to do?
It's a tough one because, say, Arsenal's his football club, right? He loves Arsenal.
Trent was Liverpool's football club.
Which I get. And it's different, even because Trent's winning. He's about to win his second Premier League title, right?
So it makes it even easier then.
Exactly.
For Saka. If you're not winning, it's good as Saka. What's Saka, 24?
Yeah, right. So that's going to be the thing. Like, can he win the big trophies at Arsenal, the Premier League?
So can he win the league and Champions League
at Arsenal? That's going to be the question. Arsenal got closer. I have to believe as an Arsenal fan that they're going to at some point. Like, I have to.
What, Champions League?
I have to. Do you know what I mean? I have to believe. Do you know what I mean? I have to believe that they're going to do it. But if they're not, and say for instance next season they go backwards and they finish 3rd, 4th, like Man City come back again and Chelsea get better or whoever it is, and Liverpool's still going to be there, then Saka's got a decision to make.
Can I ask you the impossible question?
Go on.
And again, it's impossible because you don't know, right? But just hear me out. Would there be clubs right now, bigger? There is a few bigger clubs than Arsenal.
Yeah, of course.
It's not being rude. Yeah. Would there be a bigger club than Arsenal almost doing the illegal thing of sniffing around Saka and saying, don't sign?
Yeah, 2 years left, 100%.
Yeah, don't sign.
Yeah.
Don't sign.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because there could be. Like Real Madrid, I look at Real Madrid and I think
they're the ones, aren't they?
There's no way you could look at Rodrigo and say he's better than Saka. No. Like, I like Rodrigo, but Saka could hold his own with him.
Of course.
And you're seeing the importance to Saka to Arsenal right now. Saka's going to be looking at that. And he might be different, though. He might be like, no, Arsenal's my life. I don't care where anyone else comes. That's where I'm staying. But he's good enough to play for anyone. And that's a worry for Arsenal, which is why I've said before, the likes of Saliba, Saka, I'll use those two just as an example. You have to match their ambition.
Yeah.
And
it isn't just money for these boys.
No, it's about honours.
Trophy, success.
These guys have got all the money in the world already.
Yeah.
So Saka's contract is massive. But it's about now, what can I add to... Like, I've been to England, and it's a bit different when you go away with England. The clubs that I was at, like, say, Charlton, for instance, or Sunderland, still great clubs, big clubs, right? But they're not competing for Premier League titles. But going away with England and hearing the likes of JT talking to, I don't know, Rio about, probably worst two examples, but maybe JT talking to like Rooney about we're pushing for the Premier League title. Those type of discussions. Saka's going there going, I've got nothing, I've not won anything yet. Do you know what I mean? So at some point it's going to come into discussion. Wow, interesting. All right, you say you got a final one, maybe. Go on. What could that was? It second contract. Was it the contract? Oh no, the third, which is like another midfielder, holding midfield player. Holding midfielder. Just because Jorginho's going to go. Yeah, I love Thomas Partey. I think this season his form's been brilliant. But you have to look long term. You have to look long term. So maybe talk about Zubimendi. I have reservations, mate. I know he's a good player. I thought he was brilliant. Lightweight. Second half of the Euro final when he came off for Rodri, I thought he was brilliant. But Premier League's a different animal. Different beast. You have to be able to run, strong. You know what I mean? Get your foot in at times. I'm not sure, but that's an area I'd look at as well. Very quickly, we do have to go. Very, very quickly. If you were a player now, would you run down your contract? Yeah, probably. You'd gamble in yourself. Yeah, you have to back yourself. Wow. Yeah, you have to back yourself. Isn't it? Like 10 years ago, players are wanting long contracts. Now it's the case of run it down. When I get to 30, though, you didn't give me the 5-year. All right, Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you on Andrea Berta's to-do list at Arsenal. What should he do? Does he sign a centre forward immediately, or does he focus on securing Saka to a long-term contract? What should he do? Very interesting, this one. Arsenal fans, 03717 22 3344. What's on the wish list?
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.